Alright, ladies and gentlemen, about time I finally covered what had been going down the past weekend. And yeah, I know everyone's been talking about it already, but I actually recorded something for like a little short video about Kyle Busch, what happened to Kyle Busch. The very day it happened was a Thursday, and I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get myself to really do anything content related. Even like that video, for some reason, for some reason I just didn't have it in me to put it. Because I just didn't feel like doing much outside of life stuff. So, yeah. Everything was kind of on a stalemate for me because I was basically left spending the weekend. Having on a Thursday, but he's basically from Thursday all the way till like now, or Thursday all the way till Sunday night when the race happened, the Cup race happened. I was kind of just left wondering, kept thinking on it, letting everything sink in, like the way it happened, like how it's so sudden, like only Greg Biffle and Michael Ness, that's their son as well. But like Kyle Busch being an active competitor, like, running every week and everything, that made it like a lot more shocking, if that makes any if you know what I'm talking about. Like him, the fact that we see Kyle Busch week in and week out, like racing, like that's what makes it the most shocking, especially since he won Dover last week in the Truck Series race. By the way, I never reviewed those. Not sure if I still will. I don't know. I only have one thing to say from that. Actually, no. I might just talk about the All-Star race. I don't know. I still might review that, maybe. But mainly just the All-Star race. I don't really have anything else to say about the Xfinity Series race. That was fun. I might as well say it now. Corey Day's win was pretty cool. For anyone who likes putting asterisks to plate races, hey, Corey Day got out there and won it pretty much legitimately, without causing really any trouble. I think the lap car was the problem, because I know there was contact with him and Allgaier too. I'm getting carried away here, sorry. Kyle Busch winning the Truck Series, which, given he's the most winningest driver in truck, given he has the most wins than anyone else in the Truck Series, I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the stat line. Assuming that is the stat line, at least he, sort of went out on top. I know like the Truck Series was before like the All-Star race, so technically the All-Star race was his last race, but anyway. Not to go into detail there, he still, got to win that weekend. Sucks that it all happened. Now, I gotta mention before I start talking about Charlotte, because that's what this video is about. Truck Series race, supposed to be Friday, got postponed. I wasn't sure when it was postponed to. I guess I missed that detail. What else? There was, the Xfinity race, I think I was able to catch a little bit of that. I think it was in the short with Ross Chastain in Junior Motorsports number 9 winning. And he still got to do some burnouts. He still smashed Wild Melon, so hey, at least there's that. He did the Kyle Busch bow. I think all of them. Well, I'm not sure if Suarez did it. Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool seeing that I can't speak well. It's pretty cool just seeing Chastain win the O'Reilly Series race. What else? There's what else? I'm trying to remember what else is there. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember what else. Okay, sorry if I'm just kind of lost at the moment. Truck Series race got postponed to Sunday morning now. Being Sunday, it's church, I had to, I can't, I don't know, well, even then, I didn't even know Truck Series race was in the morning. I kind of only caught on to that when I was at church. At some point, I looked at the highlights. Yeah, at some point, I think it was during a bathroom break or whatever. I checked out. I quickly checked out the highlights of the truck race. The number 7, which I don't know what races Kyle Busch was scheduled to run in the Truck Series, but apparently he was scheduled to run that number 7 truck at Charlotte, and they selected Corey Day, which is actually a pretty good choice. Like, Corey Day is actually really solid. That's not really what they're thinking at the moment for obvious reasons. I'm trying to remember. So, okay, I'm trying to remember. So essentially, Corey Day during the race, I don't remember too much from the highlights. I don't even remember is that Corey Day, I think out of turn 2, it was on one of the restarts. Out of turn 2, Corey Day, I think he cleared himself in front of. It was a Toyota. I think it was a Tricon. Was it? It was. I think it was Gio Ruggiero. I thought Ruggiero turned him, but then I realized no. It's just a matter. He went down. I guess Ruggiero. I guess someone had to run. Like it's crazy seeing the runs these guys get in the backstretch of Charlotte. Gio, I guess, had some sort of run. Corey just blocked it late. Truck caught a bit of air and hit the wall hard. And I know that's kind of scary. Apparently, there's bed flaps, which I had completely forgot about, but I don't think that's a thing. I watched certain people react to the crash, and I just heard someone saying like the bed flaps were not a thing at Charlotte, which I'm surprised given how NASCAR is all a thing about these things catching the air. I'm shocked they wouldn't have flaps all the time. I don't know. I guess they just didn't think it'd be a factor. I don't know. But then again, with how trucks are designed, it's just bound to happen in the first place. Just see the air that goes under like such a long rear end or a long rear quarter panel, like compared to like the other cars, like yeah, it's bound to fly, pretty much, or at least in a certain angle. I guess they figured Charlotte it wouldn't happen. I don't know. You hit the wall hard, the inside wall hard. Truck slid up the track. I don't think that was at that point. I don't think that was in Corey's control. He essentially bounced off the wall at a pretty high rate of speed, and most of drivers managed to avoid. The unfortunate one was me, Tyrrell, because the racing gods are trying to speak to him or something. I don't know. Me, Tyrrell has had a really, really rough season. Really sucks to see. Like, my goodness. It really sucks to see that many Tyrrell's struggling as much as I mean, it sucks that Colleague as a whole is kind of struggling in trucks, it feels like. But then again, growing pains, Ram is back for the first time in like 14 years? I could be off on a number there. 13, 14 years. I'm just assuming that Ram left the same year Dodge did, which was like at the end of the 2012 season. So I'm just assuming like about 13 or 14 years, just about. I could be off on my math there. But yeah, so Corey Day, not a good way for that to end. Lane Riggs, I think apparently there was I wasn't paying too much attention. Apparently there was a race clock to that, which to be fair, like if there was is like I don't know. I think it's kind of it's weird how things are going down. Like this weekend, man, I don't know what it was, but they were really trying to like. I don't know what Mother Nature. I guess even Mother Nature is upset. I don't know. Just wouldn't let any racing in. In fact, all three. I must say this now. All three races were. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. Yeah. So work. Wow, my brain's all over the place. But basically, like, oh my gosh, all three races this weekend called off. The Indy 500 didn't have any rain issue, or if it did, I just didn't catch it. I got into Indy 500 with like 80 laps to go, just about. And I think it was after I came home from church. I managed to catch, and then I had to go back to church for something. And essentially, I was able to, you know what? And it was so short though, and it was at pretty perfect time because I was able to watch I can't speak. Wow, I was able to watch the opening ceremony with the Busch family. Kurt Busch, I think it was Bush's parents. I wasn't hearing much of the commentary. It was, I don't know. I missed the commentary, but yeah, Kurt Busch was there. Family was there. In that race, like, I don't know. I'm still letting it sink in. Like, it's gone. Like, it's still like, it really threw me for a loop. Really threw me for a loop. But yeah. I'm trying to remember. There was it was that. What was it? I forgot what it was. I was trying to say. So yeah, I missed the start of the Cup race because of that. I was able to see the opening ceremony. I didn't even see the drive. No, I didn't even see the command to start engines. I just saw. I saw the opening ceremony, national anthem. I probably missed the prayer. Oh well. By the time I came back from church again, it was like what, 12. In the middle of stage 3, I think. Huh. I'm somewhat struggling to remember it, but near the end, yeah, it was in the middle of stage 3. So, yeah, stage 3. And the racing was pretty fun. I'll give them that. Racing was fun. But as the laps winding down, man, it was just, caution started to get a bit more out of control. The most egregious, I think it was 1 or 2 laps into one of the restarts. Briscoe, I think, tried to go 3 wide between Buescher and Priest. Buescher tried to block it, and wound up getting bumped up the track into Priest as a result. That sent Priest down the track into Briscoe. So cars just bounced, 3 cars bounced off each other. Someone else got collected in it late, somewhat in mid-wreck. I forgot who it was. I have to watch the replay on that later. But that was just... And in the field, like, I'm surprised more cars weren't collected. Like, that's the thing with these wrecks going on in the backstretch going to turn 3 or stuff like that throughout the weekend. I'm surprised there weren't more cars in those wrecks. Like, there were like 5, 6 or so involved in that crash I just mentioned. Still. So, what else? There's, I don't know what else, not much else to say, really. Late in the race, it was... Shame that Gisbergen actually led a few laps. Was amazing. I think Christopher Bell probably would have passed him anyways, but him getting, like, man, 2 restarts of SVG... Like, SVG having to deal with restarts probably didn't do him any favors. They stayed out for... I forgot why they stayed out and how they managed to stay... I don't remember, but... I forgot the pit strategy on a lot of guys, but Daniel Suarez, I think through pit strategy, got himself up front in the late going. At some point, there was a caution. Oh, no, there was a lightning clock at some point, and then they waved it off pretty quickly, which, to be fair, like, they have meteorologists on top of this stuff, so the meteorologist gave them green light, so I guess so. Then at some point, while Suarez in the lead, rain came out. Or a little bit of a drizzle in turn 2. But given how rain was at Charlotte in the All-Star Race 2001, it's pretty obvious, do not take chances on drizzles. Especially at Charlotte. Like they know from... NASCAR knows from experience. Don't mess with rain at Charlotte, especially. Now, that applies to a lot of tracks, but Charlotte was... Like, Charlotte, they actually got experience the hard way. Yeah, they red flag for a bit. Didn't take long, oddly enough. Then, and this is like late in the race, about 40 or so to go. At some point with like 20, I think the match got about to 29 to go. Suarez was able to hold off Hamlin and Bell, and those two, Hamlin and Bell, were going at it, which I forgot to mention. I was lost a thought earlier. Joe Gibbs was on fire in this race overall. I forgot where Gibbs finished. Briscoe got wiped out, but Briscoe was running like top 5. before the chaos ensued. I don't know if he was top 5 when this wreck happened, but I know he was running top 5 pretty consistently, at least by the time I started watching the race. And yeah, rough end for Briscoe. Like I said, I forgot what happened to Ty Gibbs, but Hamlin and Bell are still up there, still running up front. Bell actually did pass SVG at some point. Then I'm starting to mix up some of the cautions, but one of the cautions led to Suarez getting the lead through, I think, pit strategy. Again, I could be off on that, but yeah. And they knew that there was going to be some rain in the area, and the commentators were so sure that like the rain was going to pass here and there, which I'm sure it was. But the thing is, they got a bit of a drizzle. Then they waited a bit and they managed to get back going. Then at some point there might have been another caution between the two rain cautions. But the second rain caution was about 28, 27 or so laps to go. I could be off on that. Could have been more laps to go, but still. About 30 laps to go. That second rain caution, about 30 laps to go, easily did it in. It's just too much. Not too much, but it's like, maybe they could have waited out again, but like with it being 25 to go, it's like, I don't know. Especially when I think it was almost midnight. Like, I guess NASCAR felt like, you know what? Been through enough in the weekend. Already been quite a few cautions here. Second rain caution, 25 to go. Just end it. It's fair. Like, they were so close to the end, but at that point, it's like, I don't know. To be fair, I wouldn't risk a third. Because really on the radar, it probably would have passed. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. I think I recorded that on the TV. But like, to be fair, it's like at that point, it's like just call it. I don't know. Just call it, because it's a lot already. And you know what? Props to Suarez. Spire. This is Spire Motorsports' second ever win. For some reason, because of the guys this is the third ever win. The second one this season, because I forgot about for a split second I forgot about Hocevar's win. Because I remember Justin Haley won the Spire 77 in Daytona 2019, the summer Daytona race. It was by lightning and rain, and then and I was a part-time entry at the time. Hocevar won the 77 at Talladega earlier this year, and seeing Spire Motorsports get the third win ever in the Cup Series, and second win this year is pretty cool. And it's actually a first win for Spire number 7. I know Corey LaJoie is fairly close in like 2022, and maybe at some point in 2023. Suarez managed to get something done, which I was very skeptical of, because Spire Motorsports, despite Spire's progression, the 7 easily became the more infamous weak link, if that makes any sense. Like, I mean that in the sense of like the 7 has kind of been, no matter who's in it, Corey LaJoie, Justin Haley, it's kind of just rough going. And Justin Haley at some point went back to Spire and just didn't really go well. It sucks to see, but it is what it is. I don't have much to say about it. So at least, hey, the 7 finally got a win. Look at that. Even though it's rain short, I mean, 25 to go. I'm sure Bell and Hamlin had a fight there to probably put on Suarez, but we'll never know. We'll never know. Especially when, even though those two are up front, there was plenty of guys like able to get themselves up front. So I don't know, but this weekend overall. This weekend, yeah, it's not enough closure. It never is, especially with Kyle, especially the impact Kyle Busch had to NASCAR and to some degree motorsports in general, like even IndyCar, doing the whole somewhat a tribute. I don't know if they did it more in silence. They probably did. Like I said, I missed the start at Indy 500. I know the Dale Coy number 18 entry had to use use that Joe Gibbs font for their 18 entry, which was driven by Romain Grosjean. So yeah, it's quite a somber weekend. Still had some racing to do, and well, yeah, It sucks that I mean, yeah, it's this is gonna have an impact for the rest of the year, or even like a couple years. Like it was just like the way it all went down. Oh man, I'm not sure how much I want to talk about this. I was skeptical, but I feel like I just had to for this one. Sorry if this video is like 20 minutes long. I wanted to keep it shorter, but I guess, but then again, I never really planned these things. I want these videos to be a bit shorter, but never turned out that way because I stumble a lot trying to figure out what to say. But it is what it is. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if you want to call it a review, but it's just me talking about Charlotte, talking about this weekend. Still trying to, my brain is still trying to sink in that Kyle Busch is gone. Especially when, like, I mean, I was upset. Yeah, I mean, I was really upset that when Greg Biffle died. It was, especially when, like, both Greg Biffle and Kyle Busch are drivers I actually grew up on. And, actually, yeah, and Michael Annett as well, because he was in the Cup Series in 2014, which was 2014 was the first year I watched, like, dang near the full schedule. Because before 2014, I'd watched NASCAR sporadically. It wasn't really a matter of trying. I was just, I don't know. I was just kind of into games and stuff, but I did catch a NASCAR race here and there. 2014 was the first full year of me, like, watching, like, a Cup Series schedule and all that. Or trying to watch most of it. And Michael Annett was a rookie that year. In fact, Michael Annett was a rookie alongside Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson. I'm starting to feel old again. But, and there's probably other rookies. Oh, Alex Bowman too, yeah. So to see that he's gone. Oh man. And, you know, and Greg Biffle, I mean, Greg Biffle, he was also a big part of my childhood. In that, was you a National Guard 16 or any sort of 16 car? Because I didn't follow him. I didn't see what he was doing in the lower series, so I mainly only knew him for the Ralph 16. And, what else? And especially Kyle Busch. The lasting impact, especially since, like I said, he was still very active. Still very active, but, you know, I'm not going to drag this. Like, everyone said everything. And I might make a separate video or even maybe a short talking about my experience as a NASCAR fan when it came to Kyle Busch. I know certain guys, you know, plenty of guys saying how they hated Kyle Busch growing up, like, you know, because he was driver that was easy to hate, and I was one of them. Though you know, in 2023, I think it was when I started to have a new appreciation for him. Hey. Again, I'll probably make a separate video, but yeah, really long review as is, but yeah, not sure how to close this off, but Kyle Busch, may he rest in peace, man.